Hello and welcome to Tom's Hardware, the podcast for October the 29th, 2024. I'm your host, Stripe the Gremlin. Hang on, no, that's not. Meat slides, don't worry. That's even more terrifying. Hello everyone, right, Halloween special, and we have lots of Halloween hijinks on the show tonight for a spooktacular. Yes, all the puns are on tonight. And we're joined by resident Raspberry Pi expert, Ash Hill. Hello, Ash. And our special guest, the GurgleApps team. Hello, GurgleApps.
Hello. Hi.
Do you want to tell everyone your names so everyone knows who you are?
And thank you so much for having us on, by the way. And the intros are very snazzy.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Ziva.
I'm Emily. And yeah, we're part of the GurgleApps team, and we make educational. Well, we are. That's just the three of us, and we make educational videos based on STEM and computing and coding, and we do cool little projects like this. So hopefully you guys can enjoy them as well. So yeah.
Awesome. So obviously there's two extra guests in the room with you there, right in front of you next to the microphone. Can you introduce the guests you have with you?
Goodness, I forgot to introduce them. They're probably going to not like us for that. This is Clive, and Clive, he's been brought back from the dead. And this guy we made quite a few years ago. This one is our most recent upgrade.
No, wrong way around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite the mirroring in the cameras tricking my brain.
This is the old one. What? This is the old one. This is the new one.
Yeah. And I mean, they're quite spooky, a bit scary. Every single year, though, they've of course had different heads because, you know, they'd get a bit moldy, but it's the same brains inside. This year, he's been upgraded a bit. But yeah.
That's brilliant. So the older one, I can see it's LED matrices you've got there. Can you explain what the insides of it all are?
So, I mean, did you want to explain?
Sure, yeah. Inside is a Raspberry Pi. I was going to take the head off to show you. Raspberry Pi Pico, and then two matrices.
Yeah.
I think these are the max matrices, I believe. So.
Yeah. I mean, originally, this one guy was powered by a Raspberry Pi.
This was years ago.
And this was years ago. I mean, we just used to have loads of fun making projects with these 8x8 LED matrices there.
We did a word.
I mean, our word clock, originated on one of these 8x8 LED matrices.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Got a bit of piece of paper of the word clock, and it would go. Can't coordinate myself. Nice. it'd go over and then read the words.
So it
Obviously
was
it's upgraded
like a teeny tiny version of this. And I guess we'd say for learning and everything, compared to these guys, these LCD screens, we'd say this version, you can have a lot more fun with it, because when we were little, we'd try and make the designs on the, you know, how you just light up certain ones and other ones wouldn't be light up. So you can make a little heart or, I don't know, a smiley face. And we'd have to convert for the code, you've got to convert it to hex. And
we do binary to hex.
You do binary to hex, binary 1 for when it's lit, 0 for it's off, I think. And then you'd have to convert it to hex, and then to decimal and to hex. But it's just a brilliant way, I'd say, to learn that sort of thing, because that's what we did when we were about primary school. I think that's pretty, I mean, it's good for a primary school sort of child to be able to do and learn. And our website had a simulator sort of one of those screens.
Well,
so
you can click it.
You can click it, make your own design, and it will give you whatever the hexadecimal code. But it's good just to check it. And I seem to remember loads of people seem to quite enjoy that. I mean, we didn't expect it. We just thought it was useful for us. But yeah.
It's brilliant because of the simplicity. I mean, the 8x8 LED matrices you've got there, and I think the Max 7219, I think, top of my head. They're really easy to work with, but you get fantastic results. I'm watching it now, and I can see the eyes moving around, and it is convincing. And you think it's just LEDs going on and off really simply, but it's convincing. And then you've got scrolling text, which brilliant.
I think the code for this one works with the Max ones and then I can't think of it off the top of my head. HT1 something. It's another version of the lights, which I believe are SPI. So
Yeah.
you've got I2C and SPI in the same code, and you just set them as true or false, so it'll work with almost anything.
Oh, lovely. Well, Lisa's on lovely too. The next pumpkin you've got there. So Clive, we've been to Clive, now we're on to Clive. She's also the name of my uncle. So can you tell us more about the newer Clive? So we can see LCD eyes, but what have we got in there?
We've got actually this.
This is what's inside him, but two eyes.
This is what's inside.
This is the eye.
So
lovely.
That's the LCD screen, which is in here, and then we have. I mean, this would just be a Cyclops version because it's just one, and then we've got this artificial flame coded on a matrix display.
Yeah. WS2812B.
Yeah, matrix display, which is used in our word clock. So we thought it would just be nice, even if you can't get a hold of these little screens.
The eyes.
The artificial, the eyes, and the artificial flame. I don't know if you can see it well on camera, but it sort of flickers. And yeah, I mean, I guess it looks quite cool.
If you've got a word clock, you can just take it apart for Halloween, and then you've got the Pico and the matrix in there. So
yeah, and yeah, we felt like we should do something a bit extra as well. So yeah.
Very cool. So those round screens you've got in there, you say SPI screens?
With
I2C?
I believe.
I've got the case.
Yeah. They are, off the top of my head.
Oh, do you want me to get the case?
I'll read out what they are. They're GC9A01s, TFT LCD screens.
Probably SPI then, I'm guessing.
Now, I only had... I coded it over 2 days, 2 evenings. It was a bit rushed, so I didn't do the most I could do with it. I managed to get one eye working and do patterns with that. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to plug the pins of the next eye into the same pins of the Pico, and then I've got 2 eyes working. Because
what you'll notice about this one is, of course, they work independently, hence why you've managed... You can see that they look in different... Oh, yeah, it is this one.
Oh, yeah.
They look in different directions. Sometimes they go like that. And then, of course, for the scrolling
cross-eyed
test,
and everything.
Yeah. So they work independently of themselves. And you could tell we had a lot more time back then to do that. And then when we updated it more, of course, was it 3 years ago or something, we managed to do that. But this one,
I just put 2 eyes in the same place.
Yeah, we knew we had to do an update, and then when you have like all these big ideas, because we'd wanted to do a kit, so hopefully next year we can sell a kit, a Clive kit, so you can make your own one. But we want everything that we kind of sell or give to you guys to be really, really good quality, and the same with our videos. We want everything to be really high standard, and we just felt that they weren't up to standard. So even the code, we are wanting to update that, I think.
Most of our like projects and videos, like 70% of them don't even go out, probably more than 70%.
That is quite a sad fact. Yes. But yeah, we've got lots of unfinished projects and products and stuff. So I mean, it's always a work in progress, but I think we'd like to give you guys quality things. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed with the animation, especially on actually the older Clive. When I'm watching this text-to-speech go by, or not text-to-speech, I'm sorry, when I'm watching the text scroll by, there's a gap between the eyes, and you've taken into account that gap. It's not like the matrices are pressed together. That took a little bit of extra planning. So can you tell me a little bit more about the animation process? What are you using to animate not just on old Clive, but on new Clive?
So old Clive, I believe, it's been a long time since I've looked at that code. Believe I've got a JSON file, probably a JSON file, and that's got the patterns and the hex to all the it's this one, sorry, to all the eyes and the text and everything and the animations, and then I just pull that through into the main program under whatever function I've made in the other program, and just put what animation I want.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
sorry.
You go.
This new this new one here, took me a bit longer just to get the animations. This I've kind of raw coded, if that makes sense, the animations. My original idea was to create images and realistic image eyes and everything, and then load the images onto display them on the screen and just move them around. But that took a bit of time and I wasn't getting anywhere, so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna draw the eyes. So just using display.io, I believe I imported, because this is CircuitPython. That's the other difference. This is CircuitPython. This is MicroPython. Yeah. So but my other issue I was having with this, it was extremely laggy, because I realized I was drawing the eyes, and then when I wanted to move the eye, I was redrawing the eye again, where I could just draw the singular pupil and move around the screen. That'd be much faster. So that's what I did. But it's still a bit laggy. I did have problem with blinking. That's why he doesn't blink yet. It was too laggy, so I couldn't blink it.
You also mentioned about the gap between here.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I hope it looks like that, but honestly, this pumpkin I carved probably about an hour ago, because I realized the other one was a bit too moldy and we couldn't display that. His eyes are wonky, and it's not the best, so I apologize. I'm glad that you think it looks decent.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you very much.
It's fantastic. And no, none of us are perfect. The wonky eye is fine. Absolutely fine. So you've got one coded in MicroPython, one coded in CircuitPython. So which was your favorite language to code in, Circuit or MicroPython, or are the two very similar?
They are similar. I prefer MicroPython because most of my projects are in MicroPython and I understand it more. I always get tricked in CircuitPython with functions. You've got to put it equals when you load up stuff into the functions. You've got to say this equals this, where here you can just put the raw. Here with MicroPython you can put the raw values in. Same with, I believe, setting the GPIO pins. I always get confused about in CircuitPython, but here it's pretty simple, just putting the numbers in. But I prefer MicroPython, but obviously they are pretty similar. Yeah.
So what was the reasoning behind using CircuitPython for the new one? Is it just because of the screens, or?
I probably should have used MicroPython, but I was just like delving into it, and some of these projects other people had done with it was in CircuitPython, and there was a CircuitPython library I could use.
Yeah.
But after doing that, I found somebody's done it in MicroPython, and they've created their own firmware type stuff. So it's MicroPython with extra stuff in. So, and that works with these screens really well. But I've not had time to use that.
No.
Okay.
They'll be in the updated code, I guess.
Maybe.
Potentially.
We'll see.
Oh, brilliant. So have you used the pumpkins with the Pico 2 that came out recently?
Sadly, we've not got our hands on it.
We were very early to the game with the Raspberry Pi Pico, but unfortunately, we've had quite a lot on, so we've been really, really busy. So,
but I believe a Pico is a Pico, so hopefully, I believe it should work on the Pico 2 anyway. So if anybody's got a Pico 2, should work. Let us know.
Honestly, I'm quite ashamed we've not got on hold of it yet.
No, don't worry. As you say, a Pico is a Pico. The only real benefit of Pico 2 is a little bit more RAM and you get more processing power. But for a microcontroller, for what we're doing here, do we really need 200 megahertz CPU?
Well, I believe actually one of this, probably I don't know which one, but one of them is on a Pico W and the other one is on just the old Pico. I think it was the original Pico I've used. The one we got on the magazine, the front of.
I remember that. Yeah, we got it on the Magpie magazine.
Oh, the Magpie.
And you know,
was
it the Magpie? I think it had the. I just remember it was attached to the front, and we went to WH Smith's after school to get it. I just remember that. Yeah.
Was that the Pico or the Pi Zero you got?
Pico.
Pico.
Oh, I didn't know Magpie did a Pico on the front cover.
I don't know. I don't think it was black. It's a black magazine. I've completely forgot the name.
I think it was another one.
I think it was.
No, it'll be a Magpie because that's Raspberry Pi's in-house magazine.
Yeah.
Ooh, didn't know that. I've just learned something today.
Unless our memory's faulting us, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah. Maybe it was a secret one. I don't know.
the Pico is the first Pico we ever got, so that's.
It was the first one we got. Yeah.
So actually, it probably is the same brain.
Oh my goodness, it probably is.
Because it's the same Pico.
Well, no, because this one was a Raspberry Pi. Remember? The first
true,
one?
yeah.
So it's had an upgraded brain, unfortunately. Yeah.
So, which one of them is on a Pico W?
I think the modern one. Which one?
This
Over
one.
here. Yeah.
Have you had any ideas about connecting it to the internet and letting it do weird and wonderful stuff?
I did, and hopefully that might be in the updated version next year. I had loads of ideas in my head of what I wanted to do, but didn't execute them in the short 2-night span that I had making it. Because
I think using the Raspberry Pi Pico W was also partly because we were quite unprepared as well. It's because for the word clocks we've got the Raspberry Pi Pico Ws, so we just had them, of course, lying around.
I was stealing from the stock.
He's stealing from the stock, and I was just getting annoyed with him because I had everything. I had everything aligned, and then I went to check everything up, and it was not correct, which was not good. But yes, wasn't it today though? Upstairs, we were trying to recreate this guy, and as Caleb mentioned, we needed to use a Raspberry Pi Pico. I was saying,
or Pico W. It doesn't matter which Pico.
But I said, please don't. Try not to delve into the stock. And then we found a box where I've cleaned up the office, and there's just a load of all of our old projects. And I'd forgotten I'd done that, which is stupid of me because I
pulled about 10 Picos out of that box.
10 Picos came out of that box. All of this equipment that I'd forgotten we even had. Well, I should have remembered, but they weren't best pleased with me today. I was trying to keep it clean and organized, but never mind.
You can't keep clean and organized if you're a maker.
No.
Figured that one out.
No, I'm looking at my desk and thinking, yeah, it's completely true. Yeah, it's a tip. We've just got a question in the chat just to.
Oh, that's nice.
Extending shelves on that's cool.
Look at that.
Question in the chat. Anyone heard any rumors about when the Pico 2W is coming out? That's from Stroud Birdcam. No idea. All we know is it's going to be coming out whenever. We don't know. I'm very interested to play around with it. I've got to try and reach over here. You'll hear lots of crashing. Don't worry, it's fine.
It's just a gremlin, right?
That's the gremlin. If I go to Stripe Cam, we can do this because it's fixed focus. There's the Pico Plus 2W from Pimoroni, which is the first Pico 2 with Wi-Fi. That chip there, the RM2. So right now, that's the only way to get a Pico 2 online is to get Pimoroni's board, which is a good little board. I've been playing around with this. Yeah, it just works. No problems at all.
Nice
little board. But yeah, sorry, Stroud Birdcam, we don't know is the short answer.
Rumors.
But when we get one for review, we'll have one on Tom's Hardware and you can read all about it. I want to play with it.
Hopefully we can actually get our hands on that one if it comes out in time.
By the way, hi Stroud Birdcam, and how are your birds?
Stroud Birdcam, he's a subscriber, I think, that has I know. He had a Birdcam
in his garden.
Yeah, I think it's
controlled by a Raspberry Pi.
Controlled by a Raspberry Pi.
And a very long lead tower.
And a very long, because we used to do some live streams and stuff, and he used to come on the live streams and, he'd be in the comment section in the live streams, and we followed his channel and we found that he had a Birdcam and it was awesome. So every time we did that, we don't do them anymore, but
we'll start up, hopefully.
Well, hopefully we'll start up and do some more. We'd show the section of it showing the birds.
Oh, they've all flown away.
Last time we saw it, the bird had laid eggs and the eggs were hatching. It was so cute. Yeah.
It actually reminds me of a question to ask you now. You've probably seen Raspberry Pi have got a lot of AI products now. So they've got AI camera, they've got AI boards. So I'll just grab more props over here. So you've got, the AI boards here that can do wonderful things. Any ideas about using AI in any of your projects? I mean, you can have pumpkins that react to people.
That did cross my mind, I must say. But I've stayed away from the AI stuff right now. I'm still on the old-fashioned.
I feel like it's a what do they call it? A hole that we're going to keep digging, and then we'd get drawn into so many different projects. But I think that's something that we definitely would want to look into in the future.
Yeah.
But considering the fact we've not even managed to get our hands on the Raspberry Pi Pico 2, we need to up our
That'd be a
game.
great idea, the pumpkin reacting and talking to people.
Because we had, what was it? The last update we did, we had like a little sensor.
No, we had a PIR sensor.
Yeah, the PIR sensor to detect when someone walked past.
And
But
flash up.
yeah, which of course with the AI what you're talking about and everything, that would be even better. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you done any projects with
Have you been doing any
I'm kind of flipping it around, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's a conversation, this. The short answer is no, nothing outside of reviewing them. It's just time, unfortunately, at the minute. But yeah, there's the AI camera. Let's do the YouTuber trick again. There we go. This AI camera, all the smarts, all the AI stuff is on the camera. So you can use this with an older Pi that's got, a low capacity CPU these days. And it will do image classification, pose detection, that sort of thing. So Stra Birdcam, you could program this to say what type of bird it's looking at. So train it in some way. And it could tell you what bird it's looking at. And perhaps it could tweet or do something to say, I've just seen a robin in the garden, that sort of thing. That'd be cool.
Pretty cool.
It would be appropriate to tweet about a bird.
It would be, yeah.
I agree. It's very valid.
I've played with AI before with the Raspberry Pi, but it wasn't with any of the specialized AI boards. It was some years ago. And I think I showed it off on the podcast. I did. I was using a Logitech webcam, nothing fancy. And I think I was using a 3B plus, if not a 4.
Wow.
And I was just playing around with some basic model to do image recognition. And I was showing it off like, look, it can recognize that I'm a person. And it drew a block around my face and said, dog.
Oh,
I think things have come along a little better. We can maybe blame the camera for that.
Well, when I did the testing for the review of the AI camera, it said I was 67% human. So,
I believe that.
yeah,
At least
probably,
67%.
probably 33% fast food as well. But
yeah, no, Ziva's 90% chocolates and sweets. I'm joking.
Not for the past 2 days.
No, not for the past 2 days. She's been very good. She said until Halloween, she's not having any sweet food or any chocolates.
excellent. And then Halloween, just bags full of chocolate and sweets.
Oh my goodness. Her and her friends gonna go into sugar comas.
My friend has planned a whole route.
Oh my goodness.
So you mentioned that the pumpkins are cannibalized, which is a great term to use on Halloween, from your word clock. There's one. There you go. How easy was it to integrate the parts of this into the pumpkin? You've got the WS2812 panel and the Pico.
That's all you need, because obviously you've already got them soldered together. So you just quite literally have to be fair, I reckon you could keep it in the case. It might not be as bright, but you could probably keep it in the case. And you just plug it into the computer.
Yeah.
Go to our GitHub and steal the flame part of the code.
That's
and then it should immediately work.
Yeah.
The flame effect is rather convincing. It's difficult to do LED flame effects. If you go into shops and see flame effect flickering LEDs, you can see the pattern repeat, very obvious. But that is rather good. How are you doing that pattern?
I don't think it does repeat, actually. I believe it's randomized. We've got you can't really see the individual LED. You can see if I stop, no, not.
Yeah. Did you?
The top ones, you can see they're kind of stationary. They are just, the top row, I believe, is purely yellow.
Yeah.
And then it's like filtered from orange to red. And then it's kind of randomized which ones flicker and to what color.
Cool.
That's what makes it less predictable for your eyes.
Yeah.
That's the same with this guy. His eyes are also randomized. We've got the patterns and the speeds and everything to like look left, right, angles and all that stuff. But
when the eyes pause, that's what makes it look realistic. It's like it's focused on something before it looks away.
Yeah, it's just randomized. It just does what it wants. And this guy, I don't think is randomized. He's got a set pattern. But
yeah, I'm liking the ghost eyes he has just that second ago.
It
looks like the old Pac-Man ghost.
Yeah, that's what we're going on.
I think it is what we went off.
Don't tell. Pac-Man people. They won't be too happy.
We'll say nothing.
It must be Clyde. Clive has Clyde eyes.
Yeah.
They're orange.
There you go. Knowledge. Well, talking of knowledge, Ash has got lots of knowledge on Pi projects, and she's going to tell us about a few projects actually spotted this week.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, we here at Tom's Hardware love the Raspberry Pi, and we cover Raspberry Pi projects all week long. And this month, I've collected as many Halloween projects as I could, and we have a list of 10 Halloween-themed Raspberry Pi projects that you can find on tomshardware.com. But I wanted to show 3 really cool ones to you guys today to get you excited for the list. And the first one, Les, I'm going to have you take over the screen and show off this really cool spider robot that was put together by, if you couldn't guess, it's Kevin McAleer, because he makes all kinds of really cool robots. And of course, he would make one for Halloween. And this one I thought was neat because he actually used laser cut pieces. Usually he 3D prints his robotic components, but this one is laser cut. And it's got ultrasonic sensor eyes, and whenever it detects somebody nearby, the front arms or pincers, whatever you want to call them, start to wiggle open and close depending on how close you are. So it's just like a little passive decoration, but it's also interactive, and I thought that was kind of neat and definitely worth showing off.
Yeah.
And the next one I wanted to show you guys was this really cool spooky Halloween eye. I mean, it's not quite like the eyes you've got in your pumpkins, guys, but it is one big eye, and it actually has AI like we were talking about a minute ago. It looks around the room. The middle of the iris has a camera. It can focus on people so that it can actually follow you. There's RGB LEDs inside. It's usually red, but it can flicker green as well, and I guess any other color you program it. And it talks, because why wouldn't you want your eye to talk? It hasn't got a mouth, but it's got plenty to say.
Oh my goodness.
It's creepy, that eye. Really creepy.
It is. It like moves around, not just like left and right, but it has a neat range of motion to it. And then the next one I want to show you guys, this is kind of a, I don't know, it's like something you might see at Christmas, but it's Halloween, so not quite, right? There are string lights that you can get at stores, and obviously they're not individually addressable, but with one Pico, you can make all kinds of cool effects. And that's what impressed me about this. There's 2 separate string lights controlled by one Pico. You can make them turn on solid, which is, of course, what they would do normally without the Pico. But you can make them flash. You can make them flash back and forth. And if you look on the breadboard, there's a 7-segment display. And I think it goes up to, it's programmed to go up to the number 6 or 7 to keep track of which effect you're on. So you can rotate through all these different effects and decorate your front porch or whatever with really cool Halloween lights. And then, of course, whenever it's Christmas time, you just unplug your Halloween lights and connect some other ones.
Yeah, definitely. And so cheap to get into as well. I mean, these lights that are being used, these are dollar store lights. These are, in the UK, we call it Poundland. And they're absolutely cheap. Cut the end off, put them in some screw terminals, wire them up to a Pico, and away you go. You've got flickery backlights or spider lights, something like that. Brilliant.
Yeah, they look really great. I just like how you take something simple and you take 2 of them in one Pico, and suddenly you've got all these different effects. It takes a little bit of creativity. They can randomly flicker or whatever. Throw in something like a microphone, you can maybe make them sound reactive.
Yep, definitely.
So yeah, those are 3 cool ones. And there's lots of other stuff on the list that's really cool. You should definitely check out the whole list, because they get even more intense and more crazy and more AI as the list goes on.
Yeah. The AI repo, I'm just going to pull this one out myself. This is a ESP32 controlling the actual ghost, but a Raspberry Pi and the new AI camera kit is being used to detect people walking past. So when it detects a person, it sends a signal via a network connection to the ESP32 to say, right, scare someone, and it triggers a code to scare and make this thing come to life. It's awesome. It's heavily engineered. In fact, overly engineered, I should say. But it's great. So I just love that type of thing. It's just so clever, so intricate, so many moving parts.
And it's similar to the Halloween lights in that it's a really basic product he bought. That was an existing Reaper with lights, and you had to press the button to make it light up.
Yeah.
But you throw in a Raspberry Pi and you can automate the process and make it not like a cheap dollar store toy, but just a really cool interactive Halloween decoration.
Yeah. And then this one caught our eye the other day, Ash and myself. This is a house in Manchester, England, which has been decorated with a Raspberry Pi and 25,000 WS2812 LEDs. So the same thing that's in the GurgleApps word clock, but 25,000 of them. And a smoke machine. It's even got a screen in the car, so you can watch music videos when you walk past it. It just plays a random sequence of, well, not random, but a sequence of songs that are all timed with the lights, so you get a light show.
They had to animate all of that manually by hand. They weren't props that they bought. They had to build the stencils for all the lights and the pumpkins that mouths move and sing. It's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, and it's one Raspberry Pi driving everything. Obviously, the LEDs have got their own power supply, but one Raspberry Pi doing all the work. It's awesome.
And a drone recorded the footage, and that's kind of cool too.
Yep. Oh, we have a late comer for the show tonight. Kian is in the chat. Sorry we're late. Kian, I need to see a note from your mum or parent or guardian. Don't worry, I know Kian very well. It's fine. Right. Well, we have come to the end of the show. Sorry, Kian, you're joining us right at the end.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, but it's recorded, Kian, so you can watch it back later when you're having your tea. It's fine. Question, just very quickly. Stroud Burkham, how many WS2812s can you control with Python so it's fast enough? Good question. I think that it might be a case of how much power or how much RAM will you run out of first. Because you have to keep adding power at certain length of WS2812s. Otherwise, you get a brownout. I'm trying to remember what Adafruit's Uber guide on NeoPixel says. But yeah, it's a lot. Is the technical answer. A lot. But we don't know how many. It seems as though 25,000 could be one. Because that's what that person's done in Manchester.
Goodness me, that was awesome, that one.
That's cool. You can see the video. It's on Tom's Hardware. If you go to the Raspberry Pi section, it's on there. You can watch it. We can't play it right now for copyright reasons because it has a lot of music in it. But it's cool.
Good music.
Good music, yeah. But I want to say thank you to our guests for coming on the show tonight. It's been fantastic to have you on.
Thank you
It's-
for having
so
us.
much.
Thanks
It's
for having
fantastic to see the projects that you make and also how you're growing up into be wonderful adults and learning new skills and passing them on. You're not children anymore, which is scary for old people like myself. Ash is still young. She's fine.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, Ziva's quite an old child, aren't you? She's got wrinkled already.
No, that's just the outfit for Halloween she's going to be doing.
Yeah, didn't you know?
Sorry.
Well, so thank you for coming on the show. We're going to be back next week at the normal time of 7 p.m. America's going to catch up with us. So we're all back to 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. in the US. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Ta-da.
Bye, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.